I be given the chance to explain. It just so happened that I was not given the chance to explain. So I was asked directly, and I was about to answer, but I was cut off most of the time. So I would like to thank you for giving me the chance to speak here.
Indeed, sir. Yeah. You also had a press conference after, and I believe that before the executive session began, before they stopped to go into executive session, napagsalita ka rin? Hindi ho ba?
A little bit. No? Sa dulo nun, I was given the chance to express my opinion on the issue of sufficiency of form.
It was Congressman Rudy Fariñas early on who was really grilling you about, did you have personal knowledge on the allegations against President Rodrigo Duterte? Let's listen to what Congressman Fariñas was saying.
Is there such any allegation here na galing sa sarili mong perception?
No, Mr. Chair.
Did you expect that? Did you expect the congressman to even ask you if you had personal knowledge?
Although that question is premature, because I believe that question should have been asked in the determination of probable cause, nonetheless, I answered because what I understand and believe that the issue of personal knowledge is that I have personal knowledge that there are witnesses who testified in some hearings, and I've seen their affidavits. I've checked it. I went through over it. I even went to the extent of getting official records from Malacanang when it comes to the policy pronouncements of the president. And I believe in it. What Majority Floor Leader was asking was personal knowledge of a witness. So I told the committee that I have personal knowledge on the witnesses, and at the proper time, I'm going to present those witnesses in order to provide information.
Do you believe when they were saying it was hearsay, what you knew? Would you categorize it as hearsay?
I am the complainant, so it is not just hearsay that somebody testified. I have personal knowledge that there are persons who testified, and I checked their affidavits. It is a direct knowledge for me. Actually,
you said, you didn't just say personal knowledge, sir. You said public knowledge even.
Public knowledge. The public pronouncement of the president, we heard about it. I even took the pains of getting the records from the Malacanang. So itong mga policy pronouncement, kasi hindi po ito yung parang ikaw nakakita ng pumatay diretso. I'm saying that the president is espousing a policy. It's a policy pronouncement of the president, a policy of killing without going through trial and due process of law. So, tiningnan ko yung mga records na sinabi niya kasi policy pronouncement. And sabi ko nga, it is not just coincidence na kinabukasan there were people killed on the streets because of these policy pronouncements. So, kinuha ko yung mga records. Not only citing news reports, but also records from Malacanang, and I compared them, and I believe these are true.
Some members of the House Justice Committee were saying that an impeachment process, number one, is divisive, that it's a waste of time. And also the question begs, why would you want to impeach a popular president?
Ganito po yan na Pinkiano, yung accountability ng isang Pangulo doesn't rest on popularity. Doesn't rest whether you have a supermajority in Congress. Ibig ba sabihin ay popular ka, ay meron kang ginagawang mass murder, excuse ka na or exempted ka na because you have allies in Congress? No. I think impeachment, yes, it is a political exercise, but at the same time, it's also about accountability. That is the process of check and balance in a democratic system of government. So yun nga po medyo nakakalungkot dahil hindi ho siya sa tingin ko naging balance, no? Especially in the conduct of the proceedings.
There are 293 members in the House of Representatives. I believe there are more than 260 of them congressmen allied with President Rodrigo Duterte. Just at the House Justice Committee, out of 50 members, 42 showed up and said it was insufficient in substance. Did you think you had a chance?
Well, at the start, I am optimistic about things. No, I talked to some congressmen, and they have signified intention to join. But I have decided that if we cannot reach the required number, they should not sign the impeachment complaint. Hindi na natin sila i-expose. No?
Why not?
Because hindi naman
Why expose yourself and why not expose the others who believe in this?
Kaya nga sa akin, it depends on them if they will come out. So sa kanila po yan. No? But for me, I will not force them. Because it is unnecessary exposure in them if we cannot achieve the objective. So but for me, importante lang na pinakita natin na dumaan ho kami sa proseso. This is the only remedy in order to hold the President accountable. So final ho natin. Now, because he is immune, we cannot file any case against him before ordinary courts or even the Ombudsman. Actually, may kaso po siya sa Ombudsman, but hindi yan magpo-proceed because he's immune.
Right.
So ito lang yung kaparaanan, the only remedy available in the country.
There is a case, well, it's not a case, it's, hindi po tawag kaso yung sa ICC. Meron pong, pinadalang dokumento sa ICC. Is this, what is your next move? Is this something you're likely to possibly support? Ano, kinakausap niyo ho ba si attorney, yung attorney na nag-file po nito sa ICC? I think it's Jude Sabio.
Actually, nakausap na ho namin dati yan. No? Pero nag-file ho siya ng kanyang sarili at hindi lamang siya ang aming kausap. We're talking to different sectors and to the victims, the families of the victims, and we're collating records. Now, on the issue of filing a case before the ICC, this is something that we should discuss in the group. So pag-usapan pa ho namin yan, titingnan ho natin, but I am considering, I am contemplating of filing one before the International Criminal Court.
Over and above what has already been submitted before the ICC,
yes,
sir?
Yes, over and above.
Panibago?
Yes.
Sir, you were mentioning it a while ago that there were congressmen who you said were supporting you during our last conversation.
Yeah.
It was also because of this impeachment complaint. You were telling me that people were actually sending you feelers at sinasabi nga, and you wanted to take that time na bakasyon ng Kongreso to speak to them. Hindi ho ba was anyone in the House Justice Committee, any one of them? Did anyone support you, even privately?
Again, I would like to emphasize that if we don't have enough numbers, they don't have to go out.
But did anyone among them support you?
In the Justice Committee?
Yes.
There were some who signified support. But again...
any one of them present during that 42 members who were present yesterday, sir?
I cannot say.
Oh, you can't say? Okay.
Ang point lang ho natin dito...
But is there? Meron ho ba dun sa 42?
I cannot say.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Kung meron ho man na nag-support sa inyo in the Justice Committee or not part of the Justice Committee, how many were they? Were there at least 10? I mean, really just to see how much people were supporting. I mean, your colleagues who were supporting this impeachment complaint, sir.
Because there are different levels of support. No? They said that they're going to really sign. They were saying that we support you. We're still in the process of, consulting our constituents. Ang aming partido, we're going to check the sentiments of the party. So mga ganong level of support. No? For me, actually, I didn't even ask one to you sign. No? Ang importante lang dito, we know the sentiments of the members of the House. And I was told, hindi ho sila bulag, alam nilang nangyayari.
Pero ilan sila, sir?
Yeah. Alam ho nila, halos sa lahat ng aking natatanong, alam nilang nangyayari. The point is, are they bold enough to come out?
Exactly.
That's one question. That's another question. Kasi nga ho, alam naman ho natin sa bansa, wala naman hong matibay na political party system. And almost all of the politicians wanted to be within the graces of the president because they wanted to secure their political interest in the coming elections, especially now in 2019. So I understand that and I respect that. Hindi naman ako kailangang magalit kasi yan naman talaga ang nangyayari. I was just hoping that we could be able to present a new kind of politics in the country. Kaya nga napapanahon talaga magkaroon ng strong political party system.
Did you think any of those 42 yesterday would take your side?
Well, no.
None. Wala po sa kanilang 42. On a last note, Congressman, there is talk that you may face an ethics complaint. What do you say to this, sir?
Well, it's up to anybody who will file a complaint against me. It's up to them. I will respect that. But if ever they will file something, an ethics complaint against me, I will face it.
Is this something that you think your colleagues could take seriously? An ethics complaint
Sa kanila
against
po
you?
yan. Kung gusto nila pong gawin yan, ako po yung nakahanda naman. No?
Okay.
And that's the hazard of standing up to one's principles. Yeah.
Okay, sir, isa na lang po. It was something I was thinking about that because natatanong ho kayo dun sa hearsay. What things you think have changed if somebody else filed the complaint and then you just endorsed it?
Well, ito
Did
pong,
you think about that, sir?
Yes, napag-usapan ho namin yan. Pero the reality now, I believe the President has succeeded in sowing fear among the people. Even to the members of the House. Takot ho sila, no? So, itong mga ordinaryong mamamayan na hindi nga nila makuha yung kanilang bangkay dun sa morgue, wala nga silang pang-file ng kaso. Do you think they will come out and then face the consequences? That is why we're standing up for them. Because they cannot do it by themselves. So sa amin po, if we just have to listen to the stories, the hopelessness, talagang maawa po sa kanila.
Congressman Gary Alejano, sir, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Still to come after junking the case versus President Duterte. What's next for future impeachment complaints? And what's the thought of a congressman who was part of the House Justice Committee yesterday? Sibak Party List Representative Sherwin Tugna will be joining us after the break. And later, it's travel goals versus 2.0 from island hopping. Did you know that you can also go waterfall hopping? We'll tell you where on today's In Focus.
Don't say it.
You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Joining us now, Sibak Party List Representative Sherwin Tugna. Congressman, thank you also for being here. You went into an executive session yesterday. Was that really necessary?
Yes, I believe, because for the members of the House Justice Committee to achieve a consensus and to have a decision which is supported by the majority of the members of the committee, it was a meeting wherein inputs and decisions of each and every member were pointed out, and it was discussed also. So since it's a very important matter, an executive session has to be held yesterday.
It was 3 hours of debate and then an executive session. Ang sinasabi po ni Congressman Alejano is that he wasn't really given a chance to explain. Some congressmen were also saying that this is really not the time anyway for an opening statement from Congressman Gary Alejano. What were your thoughts on this? Should be given a little bit more time to explain?
Well, of course, ang impeachment proceedings sui generis kasi yan eh. Meaning, it is on a class of its own. Being an impeachment prosecutor in the past, hindi mo siya pwedeng masabi in its entirety as political, hindi mo rin siya pwedeng masabi in its entirety as a judicial. So, halimbawa, nag-file na si Congressman Alejano nung impeachment complaint niya. Ang katotohanan, pinadistribute na yan eh, yung complaint na yan. So, binasa na yan ng mga members. So, in the determination of sufficiency in form, and then subsequently sufficiency in substance, nabasa na yan ng mga huhusgay. So hindi mo nabasa na ng mga huhusga ng mga members ng Justice Committee. So in reality, kung pupunta tayo doon sa aspect na judicial ito, ba't kailangan mo pang magsalita?
Ba't ka pa kailangan mag-explain?
Ba't kailangan mo pang mag-explain? Kasi yung huhusga, nabasa na naman nila yung reklamo, pati yung mga attachments.
Do you agree, though, what Congressman Rudy Fariñas was saying, that his was hearsay?
I believe yes. Kasi ako, in law school, the way I understand it, if I'm going to go now into purely judicial, ang personal knowledge kasi, nandun kasi yan eh. This is the complaint, nandito yung mga attachments, complaint, may verification dyan. Pag nagreklamo ka, ang sinusulat mo kasi dyan, that yung mga nakasaad dito, those that are written here in this complaint, are based on my personal knowledge and authentic records. When you say personal knowledge, according to the rules of evidence, it must be based on your senses. What are our senses? Sense of touch, hearing, smell, and of course, the most common which is being used in trial, which is eyesight, kung nakita mo ba. So kung personal mo bang, yung sinasabi ni Majority Floor Leader Fariñas na personal mo bang nakita itong mga allegation dito?
So you're saying that there's really merit in what Congressman Fariñas was asking Congressman Alejano when he kept insisting na meron ka bang personal knowledge dito?
Yes, kasi on a procedural level, yung House Justice Committee, it is the sole body which is tasked by the Constitution to act as the prosecutor.
Right.
So, kapag halimbawang nakalusot yon sa sufficiency in form, sufficiency in substance, pinagbotohan sa plenary, 1/3, yung articles of impeachment nun, itatransmit sa Senado. At yun ang magiging subject of the trial. Ang pupunta ron ay yung mga members ng House Justice Committee o members ng House na napili bilang mga prosecutors. So, kailangan may personal knowledge dahil igigrill yan nung defense counsel ng kalaban.
I understand what you're saying, but the personal knowledge, couldn't that come from those who executed the affidavits? Because the same question I asked, sir, I hope you can answer it also. Could things have changed if there was a complainant instead and then Congressman Alejano just endorsed the complaint?
Yes, because now, this time, there will be personal knowledge. And according to the Constitution, one mode of filing an impeachment complaint against an impeachable official is by any citizen as long as it's endorsed by a member of the House.
Para actually to even be accepted, for it to even be an impeachment complaint, it needs to be endorsed. So, if that happened, do you think that there could have been more of a chance for this impeachment complaint to prosper?
I believe based on what the proceedings are, since it requires personal knowledge and the complaint complied with that, then it could have been discussed probably in the substance, and I don't know what might happen next.
Hard to say. Pero at least parang mas sinunod niya, that's what you're saying.
Yes.
Mas sinunod niya yung method or procedure na dapat sundin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But is this tantamount to an ethics complaint against the congressman? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as a lawyer, as I define perjury, perjury kasi...
Hindi mo ba yun pagsisinungaling?
Perjury kasi is basic naman in our criminal law na kapag perjury, laging pagka naghahabla ka ng, if you're filing a case against a person, if it's a criminal case, there should be an intent.
To do something.
To do something. For example, when it's perjury, it's lying under oath. So, you know at first hand, to start with, you should know for a fact that what you're going to say under oath is a lie. So, it's a matter of intent. So, that should be determined.
So, does that mean?
But iba ang quantum pagdating sa ethics complaint,
Okay. Ano? Why is it different?
Because in reality, iba naman yung criminal case, iba rin yung...
Yun na nga, sir.
Yeah.
Because even when you guys were discussing it yesterday, some were bringing in criminal procedures and some were saying this is from the past, I know this is a political process, and some people were actually putting both, it's a judicial process and a political exercise that somehow painted an uneven or a gray picture to this impeachment complaint. But then again, let me ask you again a direct question. Gary Alejano filing that impeachment complaint, is that tantamount to an ethics complaint against him?
Well, we can. Anybody can file that, but I believe the counsels of Congressman Gary Alejano, they might raise a prejudicial question that there should be a determination first of perjury outside of court before.
Ano kung palagay ninyo?
For me, if he has good faith belief that what he alleged there are true, then as a member of the House, although I'm not a member of the Ethics Committee, ako personal ko lang ito,
Yeah.
hindi naman magpo-prosper kung
Kasi there was good
complaint.
faith.
There was good faith.
All right.
Yeah.
Did it even stand a chance, Congressman, this impeachment complaint against the president? Again, I will say that out of 50 members of the House Justice Committee, 42 showed up and 42 said insufficient in substance. Did it even stand a chance, sir?
Well,
Honestly.
It has been only 10 months and 15 days since President Duterte sat into office as the President of the Republic. Well, I believe he has the support of the members of Congress, as well as in reality, the allegations there, it should have personal knowledge for it to prosper.
I know, because even in the past, Congressman, you were already saying that it's hard to impeach a popular president. In one of your media interviews, you said that also in the past. Also,
Yeah.
something brought up during the House Justice Committee, but Congressman Alejano counters that by saying, just because you're popular, hindi ka na pwedeng file ng impeachment complaint?
Well, I respect his opinion on that. But I believe the criticisms against the President in relation to the proceedings yesterday, the impeachment complaint, that for me personally, the reason why we voted to dismiss the impeachment complaint is that first, it is divisive. Second, being an impeachment prosecutor in the past, it will take so much time on the part of the House of Representatives as well as the Senate. And definitely, it will set aside legislation that could have improved the lives of our citizenry. So that is why we decided to dismiss the impeachment complaint.
Plain and simple, sir, do you believe that the President committed any impeachable offense as stated by Congressman Gary Alejano? Maliban po dun sa sinasabi niyo, it's divisive, it takes too much time. Do you even believe any of the allegations against him?
Well, as a lawyer, binabasa ko yung complaint since wala nga tayong personal na mga nakikitang mga witness o nagsasalita, hindi ako naniniwala.
But until, siguro what, you find somebody, yun yung sinasabi din, I'm sorry, babalikan ko, yung sinasabi ni Congressman Alejano, you didn't give them a chance to present the witnesses. Because now you're saying, hindi ka naniniwala until you see or hear someone, but what if you gave them a chance to actually present a witness?
Well, we'll cross the bridge, Pinky, when we get there.
All right. Congressman, let's talk about other possible impeachment complaints. Vice President Leni Robredo, let's start with her, but there's still no endorser. Ano hong palagay niyo to dito? Because even the President was saying that malabo yung impeachment complaint against the Vice President. Is this something you're likely to support or not support?
Gaya ng nasabi ko kanina, as I have earlier said, impeachment, as it is divisive and time-consuming on the part of the House of Representatives. Although I recognize that the Constitution gives us the task
Right.
to hold impeachable highest public officials, to hold them accountable. But in reality, it is time-consuming. So in the case of Vice President Leni Robredo, I do not want to prejudge that. In reality, up to now, wala pang complaint. Kasi in reality, mga members ng Committee on Justice, bago yan magsalita, before they speak, they would want to read the impeachment complaint first.
Premature right now to
Yeah,
really ask you
yes.
that. Okay, because yun lang po naman kasi yun na pag-uusapan na posibleng susunod. But you only have less than a month left before you go on recess. Ang
Sino
pagbalik,
dear?
sorry,
Yeah.
bago kayo magtapos. Tapos State of the Nation address na ulit ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Congressman Tugna, also thank you so much for coming over. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Coming up, add it to your bucket list. We'll tell you a place where you can do